Before we start, please watch my previous video. The link will be in the description.
Mattea Roach returned for his 17th game on Jeopardy. She won his 16-day total of $368,981. Ken Jennings' introduction was listing what 16 is found in. 16 is the number of candles in a classic John Hughes movie of personality on the Myers-Briggs test. It's a square of 4 and the fourth power of 2, and the atomic number of sulfur. It's the voting age in Argentina, and a legal drinking age in Belgium, as well as the number of ounces in a pound, pawns on a chessboard, and petals on the imperial seal of Japan. But most importantly, it's the number of wins achieved by our current champ, Mattea Roach, a feat equaled only 7 times before in all of Jeopardy history. Will she make it a 17 today and force me to memorize another weird list of facts? Or are Ben or Christina here to stop her streak? I'm surprised Ken singled out Belgium, because it's usually Germany when I hear people talk about the drinking age being 16. So as he was listening to these weird list of facts, I remember when Amy Schneider was talking about the word Vorlaga and how she described it as, and how she described what it is. Ken told her not to give it away. What if it comes up in the game?
Ken asks, Vorlaga. Amy answers, Vorlaga, it's a German word for like the Anglo skiers making against. Ken tries to tell her, don't give it away. What if it comes up in the game? Amy and the audience laugh as he asks this.
Now I'm asking Ken, what if any of these facts come up in the game? Mattea got the sports category out of the way and was in a streak of right answers following the sports category. I noticed Ken didn't tell her she ran the botany category, same as yesterday's game. Mattea ended the first round in her score going down to 6,000 after answering the daily double wrong. She risked 2,000 and answered wrong. Christina was in second place at 4,000, and Ben was in third place at $2,400. Ben started the double Jeopardy round in his streak of right answers, which led him to find the first daily double. He wagered 4,000, got it right, and went to $12,800, more than twice Mattea's score. Mattea went through a second streak of right answers in what's a really competitive game. I think this has been her most competitive game in her run. I was starting to feel bad for Ben because there were many times he tried buzzing in, as Mattea just barely beat him to the buzzer. Perhaps this is a metaphor of the results in Final Jeopardy. Mattea's streak led her to find the second daily double in Double Jeopardy. She wagered 8,000, which was her highest wager. You know what? If I wager a lot and lose today, like whatever, I had such a good run. So let's try and do honestly 8,000. Now that she mentioned it, for the past week, I've been thinking a lot about her run. I'd comment on it now if this game wasn't already so intense. I'll say that either for when she loses or the aftermath of her loss. Enough of my rambling. Mattea answered right and went to $23,600. Hey, that was worth it. Something I do need to address is the fans commenting on tonight's game in particular. I wouldn't necessarily call it criticism. There were 2 instances when Mattea gave vaguely right answers. The first instance was right before the daily double at the end of the first round when she answered, what is, I think, Delaware? The second was in the category Celebrity Memoirs when she answered, who is, it looks like Lena Dunham. Who is, it looks like Lena Dunham. Mattea has given plenty of side comments, and while I admire her personality, they do raise a good question. I was thinking as long as it's asked in the form of a question, it should be accepted. Fans were picking up on Matt answering, what is, even when it was a person who was the answer. I noticed Margaret Shelton asked, is that the Western Wall? That was the only other time when someone sounded unsure of herself. Sounding unsure of yourself is not uncommon in Jeopardy. It happens all the time, just like at the daily doubles, except I've only seen it there. Now that fans pointed it out, it's a lot easier to notice when Mattea does it. Mattea ended Double Jeopardy winning $27,200. Ben was in second place at $13,600, exactly half. And Christina was in third place at $8,400. The Final Jeopardy category was poets. The question was, in 1939, he was buried near his last residence in France, but his body arrived in Galway en route to final burial on September 17th, 1948. I was trying to think of French poets, so I didn't know. The answer was Yeats. All 3 contestants almost answered correctly, except Christina answered Keats. She missed it by 1 letter. Speaking of missing things by only 1, check this out. In an intense Double Jeopardy round that was basically a competition between Ben and Mattea, Ben weighted everything to tie Mattea's score. Ken commented Mattea Roach had 2 very interesting decisions to make here. One about a poet, and one about a number. He also pointed out she wrote her response at the end of the music. All these factors only add to how challenging this game was. Mattea answered Yeats and only risked $1 to barely win that game. This is the second time this season such a phenomenon happened on Jeopardy. Molly Carroll bet everything in Final Jeopardy to tie Andrew He, who also won by $1. Just because this video hasn't been long enough, let's take a look at that again.
Now, I hit the scores for a reason. Jeff risked $2,001, which put him at only $1 above Molly. My guess was in case Molly risked none and Andrew risked half and got it wrong. There's a twist. Molly bet everything, which Ken told her, "Yeah, I thought you might," and was now tied in first place. Andrew risked $1. Ken told him he wrote down the answer at the last moment. He won by only $1. It's not that uncommon, just amazing to see in an episode that was full of rare phenomena.
I also briefly went over this when I talked about the tiebreaker games on Jeopardy! I'd say Andrew's game was more intense because all three players answered correctly, as two of them risked it all to more likely end in a tie. Now, because Jeopardy uploaded Overheard on Set, tonight's game could have been a tie. I'm surprised there wasn't a similar one uploaded tonight. The comment I posted was, does anyone else remember when Molly Carroll bet everything on Final Jeopardy and Andrew He barely won that game by $1? The same circumstance happened here. I would love to see Ben and Molly return in the second chance tournament. Mattea is now at a 17-day total of $396,182 and is so close to being the first champion to win $400,000 since Amy Schneider, in American dollars at least.
And as always, thank you for watching.